Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wynette. I'm joined now by Terry and Emily. They're representing the Midwest Shelter for Homeless Veterans. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Emily, we're going to start out with you and the mission of your organization.
Wonderful. Well, since we opened our doors in 2007, our vision's been simple. We leave no veteran behind due to poverty, homelessness, mental illness, and we act as an organization to help those who served our country. Since we've opened, we've grown immensely and currently have 6 programs that combat homelessness, whether it be providing a roof for our veterans, employment services so they have income, or just basic essentials through case management and our Freedom Commissary. We do what we can to help those in our community and serve our community's heroes.
Yeah, well, and such a tremendous service that they've given, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Terry, talk a little bit about why we see so many homeless veterans and how do individuals find themselves in that place?
The veteran gets off of active duty in one of the services, and they may not have any kind of a job to go to initially. They may be suffering from PTSD or even traumatic brain damage. A lot of them are reluctant to admit that they have some type of problem, but it keeps them from getting jobs. It damages their relationships with their families, and then they end up being unable to find and keep a place to live. And instead of looking for help, looking for services, they basically try to go on their own because, again, they're kind of trained to go on their own.
Right, absolutely. They're trained to take care of other people, right?
And trained to take care of themselves in any kind of an environment.
Yeah.
So they just sometimes shrink back away from the rest of society and pretty soon find themselves with no place to go. Or they can't find a job because they can't convert their military skills into anything in the civilian world.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
It can be quite a difficult task for especially some of the lower ranking enlisted folks who have a simple skill that's not transferable into the civilian community.
Yeah. Now, Terry, what drew you to the organization? You're on the board.
I have a kind of a strange background with that. I was also a member of the DuPage County Bar Association board, and I was the guy who was in charge of the Veterans Day program for the organization. I met Bob Adams through that and through Daughters of the American Revolution because my wife is involved in that. I had met and worked with him a little bit with setting him up as a speaker for the DCBA, as we call it. And then a few years ago, they were looking for new board members. We've had some other folks from the DCBA on that board. They were looking for volunteers, and I have a very difficult time saying no. And so I ended up volunteering to come on the board if they could use me.
Yeah.
That's how I got more involved in it and ended up on the board.
And you've served, and so
Yes.
and you've come from a place of stepping forward.
Correct. I was a military lawyer for 28 years.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And as you know, we're a not-for-profit too. Engaged board members is such a critical part of what we do and to further the mission. So as we talk a little bit about your mission, what are some of the most urgent needs that you have right now?
Right. Well, Midwest Shelter for Homeless Veterans would not be able to do what it does, provide services for our veterans, without our supporters. About 50% of our budget comes directly, from private foundations, individuals, corporations. So donating really truly does make an impact on the lives of a veteran. If you're not able to donate financially, which is completely understandable, there are several ways to get involved that do help the mission and do make really an impact on the life of a veteran. So volunteering in our commissary, donating to one of our homes so that they have basic essentials and can focus on recovering in their journey on whatever they are focusing on. We always can use advocates for veterans as well. So just showing up and being there for our veterans by speaking of the issues is critical to our mission.
Yeah, I think, and it's interesting, I think when we sometimes don't see enough of it, but I've noticed when you're at the airports and just random people will thank somebody in the uniform for their service. You can just sort of see the impact that that's having. I think that's so important, right, when you talk about advocacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, it's, legitimizing their experience and showing that they do make a difference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Terry, what are some of the challenges that you find to furthering your mission?
Part of the problem in doing this mission of providing homes for veterans is finding the veterans who need them.
Yeah.
Bob was involved in this, Bob Adams, and another organization that I also had knowledge of and Bob worked with was literally going down to lower level Wacker Drive in Chicago because they knew that was a place that the homeless congregated, and many of them were veterans. So getting the veteran who is homeless to overcome his pride, basically, and say, yeah, I need some help. Otherwise, it's a matter of trying to find them, persuade them, look, we're here, we're not judging at all. We want to do something to help you get back on your feet because we know you've got the qualities that made you a good service member, and we don't want you left out of society as a result. So that is one of the bigger challenges.
Yeah.
And it stems from perhaps problems within the military itself where the veterans do not want to admit to them that they have problems because if they do, that's going to hurt their careers if they wanted to stay in the military.
Sure. Yeah, it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Emily, what can we do, and what sort of exciting developments might you have coming?
Right. So, just recently it was announced that the Chicago Bears is awarding us $100,000 in order to fund and expand our Freedom Commissary. So not only will we be able to provide excellent qualitative individualized care for our veterans, but we'll be having a mobilized unit. So, you'll see our van go out to communities for veterans in need so that they can have basic essentials.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a go Bears, right?
Absolutely. But, this is an amazing opportunity. November 10th, we'll be recognized at their home game against the Lions, just again to show, what the organization does. So we're very excited for that. Elsewhere, we are approaching our Veterans Day campaign. While it's fantastic we have that, Bears initiative, we still have to engage our supporters and make sure that we have enough funding to be proactive in the care of our veterans instead of reactive. So we'll be talking to individuals, community sponsors, and really just engaging on veteran issues in the next couple months as we close the year.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. And I think also, as you talk about being mobile, that's also kind of a little bit of a walking billboard, right, for you. So that's also very helpful in raising awareness throughout the community. Yeah, that's wonderful.
And we cover 7 counties. So we need the mobility.
Yeah, you can't just have everybody coming to you, right? You've got to be able to get out there into the community, as you said, looking for those veterans that are in need of service. I want to thank you for the work that you're doing. It's obviously very important work, and I think oftentimes people don't realize that there are people there that need help, but maybe don't know how to ask for that help, and so I think that's an important message too for us all to be mindful of that and sensitive to it. Thank you for coming. If you would like to learn more about the Midwest Shelter for Homeless Veterans, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.